Every tragedy starts with a leader. Meet King Harun, rich, powerful, and hungry. When Ramadan began, he made a decree. Why starve ourselves? We'll eat by day, feast by night. His people followed. Markets stayed open. The smell of roasted meat filled the streets. And for 29 days, nothing happened. But on the 30th night, the sky turned red. Survivors wrote about a sound, like the earth itself screaming. Houses collapsed, wells dried up, and by dawn, the city was silent. Not a soul remained. This isn't a myth or an exaggeration. This is the truth that's buried deep in history. What happens when an entire nation decides to break the sacred fast of Ramadan? King Harun and his people found out, and their story is the one you need to hear today. How did one simple choice, the choice to ignore Ramadan fasting, lead to the downfall of an entire empire? Stay with me, because this isn't just about tradition, it's about survival. Let's begin by understanding the empire that once ruled over everything. It was a land rich in resources, thriving with trade, and home to cutting-edge innovation. The empire's influence stretched far and wide. They were powerful, respected, and untouchable. But as with all great empires, the very success that fueled their rise also sparked their downfall. The more power they gained, the more they felt invincible. They started to dismiss the traditions that had helped them succeed, and that included Ramadan fasting. But as they became more prosperous, their arrogance grew, thinking that nothing, not even sacred practices, could touch them. And that arrogance, well, it cost them everything. It all started with a simple, seemingly harmless decision. King Harun, the ruler of this great civilization, issued a decree. Why should we starve ourselves? We'll feast by day and party by night. The people, looking to their king for guidance, followed. Markets stayed open, and the smells of roasted meat filled the air. It was Ramadan, but none of it mattered anymore. But while everything seemed normal for 29 days, something was stirring in the universe. A warning was on its way. On the 30th night it came. The sky turned an ominous red. A strange, terrifying sound echoed through the land. It was like the earth itself was crying out. By morning, the entire city was silent. Not a single soul remained. What happened that night wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was divine intervention. The entire city was wiped out because they had broken the fast of Ramadan. This wasn't just punishment, it was a test, one that the empire failed. And the consequences, they didn't end with the city's destruction. For years, the nomads who passed through the area reported hearing eerie cries at sunset, voices saying, "Feed us! Feed us!" The souls of the lost city were trapped, forever longing for the sustenance they had once denied. In 2018, a film crew investigating the ruins disappeared. Their last footage, a shadowy figure reaching for their iftar meal. Locals who tried to rebuild found their tools missing, their water turning black. Every Ramadan, strange figures are seen walking the dunes. Could the curse still be active? Maybe. You might think that this is ancient history, something that doesn't apply today. But what if I told you that the lessons of this lost empire are just as relevant now as they were centuries ago. Today, we see restaurants staying open during Ramadan, people flaunting their defiance on social media, and influencers joking about secret snacks. But what if the curse still lingers, waiting for us to break the fast once more? Last year, a village in Turkey ignored Ramadan fasting for 3 days, and they reported strange events. The power went out, phones stopped working, and when dawn broke, every fridge was empty. It wasn't just hunger, it was a warning, one we might not recognize until it's too late. You might be thinking, but we live in modern times. The world has changed. The rules haven't changed, though. We've just forgotten them. The empire of King Harun was destroyed by one simple act of defiance against a sacred practice, and the consequences were more far-reaching than anyone could have imagined. The real lesson here isn't about punishment. It's about respect. Respect for the traditions that keep us grounded. That one broken fast wasn't just an act of rebellion. It was a failure to honor what had once made them strong. And in that failure, they lost everything. The story of this empire's fall should serve as a warning for us all. It's not about fear. It's about recognizing the power of the sacred practices we take for granted. One broken fast can lead to an unraveling of everything you hold dear. It's not just about your hunger. It's about what happens when you break the connection to something far greater than yourself. Before you go, think about this. Who in your circle needs to hear this? Share this video with someone who thinks it's just one day, not to scare them, but to remind them of the power they might be ignoring. Because somewhere, tonight, someone might be skipping suhoor, someone might be breaking their fast, and somewhere the desert is always listening. This isn't just about learning from history, it's about protecting our future. If you've watched this video and it made you think, share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Don't let the same mistake be made again. Let's honor our traditions before they honor us in ways we can't predict.